There's really only one thing that pretty much everybody in Washington agrees on, and that is our borders don't matter at all, but Ukraine's borders are holy, and therefore the government of Ukraine, the authoritarian government of Ukraine, needs tens of billions of dollars from U.S. taxpayers. Immediately stop complaining, and by the way, indefinitely, forever. Both parties in Washington agree with this. It's the single most important priority for the country. But every poll shows that actually it's not the number one issue for Americans. The number one issue for actual Americans is inflation. So yesterday, the president of Ukraine, Zelensky, was asked about the inflation that the funding of his country is causing here. And his response was this, and we're quoting, "Inflation is nothing. Who is thinking about inflation? These things are secondary." Really? Maybe to you, Mr. Zelensky. But to Americans, they're actually kind of meaningful because our countries are not the same. Why don't you run yours, we'll run ours. So Ukraine's leaders are really not hiding it anymore. They have total contempt for us. They just want our money. They don't care about the United States even a little bit. This is not democracies uniting in solidarity. This is a scam. Every other week, Zelensky has appeared in public. You may have noticed this with U.S. politicians on hand, snuggling with Lindsey Graham once again. It's kind of weird that he never seems worried about his own safety since this is a war zone. He's met with a ton of Hollywood celebrities. Here he is with Ben Stiller.
Hello, nice to meet you.
Really nice to meet you.
You're welcome.
Thanks for taking the time.
Great honor from you.
No.
We know you very well.
It's
Yes.
a great honor for me, and nice to see you. It's really wonderful. You're my hero. You're
No,
amazing.
no,
yes.
no,
As you quit a great acting career for this.
Not so great as you.
No, but pretty great.
Thanks so much.
But what you've done and the way that you've rallied the country and what for the world, it's really inspiring.
Yeah, you're a hero. This week, Zelensky got the Annie Leibovitz treatment at Vogue magazine. He really is the Beto O'Rourke of Ukraine. This is real video uploaded by Vogue on Instagram. Watch. It's all pretty insulting to the thousands of Ukrainians who have died and to the U.S. taxpayer who's funding all of this. But Ukraine has gotten away with it because, with the complicity of the American media, they have from day one waged a fierce information war. They lied about the ghost of Kiev. They lied about the island where the troops told the battleship to F off. They keep lying. Now, they can lie all they want, but why are we still funding this? Todd Wood is the founder of CD Media. He's a former special operations pilot. He joins us tonight. Todd, thanks so much for coming on. So at a certain point, when the president of Ukraine, and again, he's allowed to worry about his country, but we're also allowed to worry about ours. And when we're funding not simply his war, but his government, and we don't even know where the money's going, and clearly a lot of it's being stolen, when he gives the finger to American taxpayers by saying your stupid worries about inflation mean nothing, how masochistic do you have to be to keep sending this guy money?
Look, thanks for having me back, Tucker. It's an honor. We talked previously about how corrupt Ukraine is, and I've met with a lot of these oligarchs. Their only allegiance is to themselves and their power and their wealth. They have no allegiance to the people of Ukraine, kind of like our oligarch class right now. So this is, as you said, a huge scam. I know that all this money we're sending over there is not getting to where it's supposed to go. This recent plane crash in Greece with a Ukrainian cargo plane with 8 Ukrainian crew members who all died and perished because the plane was loaded with explosives and weapons. The narrative was it was coming from Serbia to Bangladesh, but I find that extremely hard to believe. What I think is happening is that the weapons are getting sold, and this is just a big grift for either the oligarch class, the defense contractors in the U.S., or maybe Biden is sending weapons somewhere. I don't know, but it's not. This money is not getting to where we think it's going. That is for sure.
I don't understand how any responsible person could send billions in advanced weapon systems into a war zone and then make no effort to track what happens to them next.
Oh, of course. I mean, this is the big problem, right? I mean, this is, as I've said before on your show, a a safe space for criminals to do whatever they want. They want no accountability, and they have either pushed too far, and because they're now losing this war, and it doesn't matter how many weapons we send down, unless we send the U.S. military in there, I don't believe Ukraine can win this conflict in any sense of victory that we would see. I think there needs to be some kind of immediate negotiated settlement because the Ukrainian people are suffering. But either they have pushed too far, and now they're getting the pushback from the Russian Federation, which is coming in massive waves, or they want a war with Ukraine, which is what I fear, and why we need adult leadership in the White House.
Yeah, and yet everyone in Washington fell for this, just like they fell for the George Floyd myth, just like they fell for all the COVID lies. It's like dumber people have never run a country. Todd Wood, I appreciate your coming on tonight. Thank you.
Anytime. Thank you, Tucker.
Subscribe to the Fox News YouTube channel to catch our nightly opens, stories that are changing the world and changing your life. From Tucker Carlson Tonight.